Hello, and I am just going to go through a PvP build I've created on TU6 before the maintenance kicks in, just in case there's an account reset. It took me a little 2 days actually to get this kinda to where it is just now. The RNG is pretty bad, I have to say, in terms of how it presents attributes and talents on gear. When you look to get specific roles, gear pieces, whatnot. For example, Gila knee pads. I have been trying to get percentage of armor and 10% skill power talent, and for the last 2 days, the game's literally not giving me it in the caches or in the target loot areas for Gila. Excuse me, please. Sorry about that. And I will just take you through this gear piece by gear piece. On the P416 I'm running Ignited, which is working out quite well. On the mask I am using Gila. Now initially it was a Fenris mask with concussion and I can't remember the other talent. However, I needed the skill power. The 10% skill power nowhere near equal to 500, and I need that on the Seeker for heals. I've used the kind of changes to recalibration to look to adopt some critical chance in the build, and you can actually get away with that on the mask, for example, and the holster. And I have some crit chance on the holster too. I am looking to replace this holster though, as I do need more skill power, unfortunately, to get my heals up on the Seeker. So I have been looking at the Fenris holster again, and also the Sokolov. Now, the Eagle Bearers had a 15% damage reduction. We know that the Gila holster can accommodate 2 offensive mod slots, and that's totaling 10%. However, the Bloodlust talent has been changed, and if you swap for once you've finished your magazine, you'll get a 15% weapon damage bonus for 5 seconds, more than enough time to unload your Eagle Bearer mag, or if you want to switch from your Eagle Bearer to the P416, the P416. So options with the holster. Backpack, Gila inventory. Oh, these are super rare. It's super rare to get Spark and Hardened with 2 blues and a red. I don't even think I actually got one bag like that, Gila bag. Yeah, super rare. There's actually quite a few items that are rare to drop with certain attributes and talents. The Fenris backpack is quite rare to drop with 2 blues, a red, spark, hardened, 10% skill power. The armor standard. This is actually a new one I got on the PTS. I was using this one. However, this kind of got the armor up a little bit more, and I was able to put 15% weapon damage on it. Mods just standard. Most of them are still from my live account. Never got too many new mods on PTS. Gloves, easily Fenris. I'm sure most PvP players are going to be using the Fenris gloves. Wicked and precise. It took a while to get these as well. As you can see, kind of need the skill power to be a bit lower to get the assault rifle damage up, as that is at 100% recalibration. Another ideal combination of talents would be Wicked and Devastating for 5% damage. any other combos that some people can potentially come up with. Uh, Knee pads, Gila. Always going to be Gila for PvP just now. Right now there are no other knee pads that can compete with Gila. The Badger Tough knee pads can compete with Gila if they had a defensive mod slot and not an offensive. However, they have an offensive, so you kind of can't replace them. So I'm sure all PvPers are still going to be using the Gila knee pads unless they make that armor up elsewhere to be able to replace them. I am running the Striker drone to keep Spark procced. It keeps it procced constantly. There is no internal cooldown for Spark. There's no internal cooldown for Concussion either, and that is actually a really OP talent, and I can see that being a popular one in PvP and PvE actually. It's really good actually, which you'll see when I'll do some PvP later after maintenance obviously. Hopefully this will still be here when I get back. It may well not be, as there's a lot of incoming changes again. I think that's everything. Yeah, in regards to the skill power on the drone, it's a little bit low. Again, just looking to get that up in other places when I can, or when the gear's presented with me that I'm able to do that. As the gear is not, I mean, the attributes, how the roles are presented, is no different to live, and I think that's actually going to be quite a bit of a problem for them. There's nothing really changed really. Once you've got your build kind of in a position like this, you're still going to face the same problems you're currently facing on live in terms of how you upgrade it and whatnot, just due to how the attributes are actually presented. They're always presented in a manner where, you know, it's high defense values and then low offensive. Like this, for example, see? You'll never get the opposite of that. So you'll never get like 8% armor, 10,000 health, and 20% crit chance, or 15% weapon damage. That is a problem. Even if they actually gave us the ability to do one attribute and one talent, this is still going to be the problem. So hopefully they're going to look into that. Otherwise, nothing's really going to kind of change in terms of end game building. Anyway, back to the PvP build. It's good. I've had it in some missions. The damage, yeah, it's working out more than what's currently on live for both the P416 and the Eagle Bearer. Just kind of waiting on the right holster and knee pads. I can get the crit chance up a lot, actually a lot higher on the mask. So if I get a good Alps mask, that can drop a lot of crit chance. So the highest I've had is 11, I think. So maybe I'll go up to 15 on the mask on Alps. May have to reduce the crit a little bit on the holster to accommodate more skill power. But we'll see how we get on once the next patch is up. But I'm quite liking the Sokolov holster, especially with Bloodlust. I might actually try that out. Because I do tend to switch weapons in PvP if I don't have time to reload, as all of you should. Anyway, as always, discuss on our Discord please, and I will be back on live, as I know I've been on the PTS practically all this week.